Good afternoon. How are you all? You getting ready for this seasonal transition?
Yes.
From heat to air conditioning? We're going to talk a little bit about that today, aren't we? And I did just turn on the air conditioning in here. A few people said, don't we have air conditioning in here? And I said, yes, thanks to Michael, we do. You just have to turn it on. Well, welcome to Forum. It's good to see you all. The good old days, right? Yeah, except I'm not so sure they were always all that great. Let's take the 20s, for example. Did you know that commercial refrigerators really were introduced in the 1920s? It's one of the first models. But it cost you over $7,000 to buy one, the equivalent of $7,000 today to buy one. And as you can see, they weren't exactly big. I don't think you could get a single frozen pizza in there, which is a good thing. They really didn't have a freezer either. So we've come a long way from those good old days. Speaking of appliances, the first automatic electric toaster came out in the 1920s too. Before that, they had electric toasters, but there was nothing automatic about them. It was just an electric burner you put a piece of bread on and burnt it. But in the 1920s, they came out with automatic ones that, in theory, popped up when your toast was ready. The good old days. That cost the equivalent of about $300 today. Yep. And stoves, boy, stoves. You know, back then, there were not many electric stoves. Almost all of them were gas, unless you lived in a small town or on a farm. And then what did you burn in your stove? Wood.
Kerosene.
Tried to guess the temperature, right, Don? Yeah. It's kind of funny. A stove like that today, refurbished with gas hookups and all that, a stove like that today will sell for about $6,000 or $7,000. Yeah, Don.
My family had an oil stove, 4 burners, and my grandmother and my mom baked in this tin oven they sat on top of the burners. And they always had the right temperature.
Yep. The good old days when you had good home baked bread.
There you go.
The good old days when we had washing machines. Back in the 1920s, they took that old Ringer washing machine and they added an electric motor to it. Wasn't that bliss? Oh, electric Ringers. Awesome, yeah. You know, all the ways to save the modern housewife, all sorts of labor. Did you know that my grandmother swore, your clothes get so much cleaner in a Ringer wash machine. She had one until she finally moved into her last home in the 1970s. But Maytag continued to sell a Ringer washing machine until 1983. Who in the world would buy a Ringer washing machine in 1983? Yeah, Dawn is raising her hand. The good old days. The good old days, what's that? It's a Ford Model T, right? Yeah, the quintessential American car. In 1922, 64% of all cars sold in the United States were the Model T. What colors could you get the Model T in?
Black.
Black, that was it. That was your choice. You could get it black or not at all, according to Henry Ford. In the decade of the 20s, 47% of all cars sold were Model Ts. Model T had some drawbacks to it. But what about seatbelts and airbags? It didn't matter quite as much because the top speed with that 30 horsepower engine was about 40 miles an hour. 45 miles an hour if you pushed it. The good old days. But if you didn't want a Model T, you had other options. Like this 1924 Duesenberg that would cost you, in those days, $8,000. But that's just for the coach. Or not for the coach, that's just for the chassis and the engine, $8,000. Then you'd spend about another $5,000 or $6,000 for a custom coach builder to build you the coach on that. But there were some advantages. By the way, that works out to about $230,000 in today's dollars. But there were some advantages because that car had a 230 horsepower engine and it could go up to 130 miles an hour. Which made absolutely no sense because there were virtually no paved roads in America. As this shows. This was America's road system in the 1920s. They just started to pave the roads in the cities and towns, but the highways between cities were often unpaved, usually or often not even wide enough for 2 cars to pass. So one car would have to kind of pull to the side to let the other car pass. I'm not sure where you could take that Duesenberg out and run it up to 130 miles an hour, but if you had the money, you could do it. Ah, the good old days, right? In the good old days, houses, the average house in the 1920s was just over 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and it was built to handle the average American family of 2 parents and 3.2 children. I've always been looking for that .2 child. I never quite figured that out. But, you know, America, we've grown bigger over the decades, and currently the average house is 2,600 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3+ bathrooms, a 3-car garage, and that's to handle the average American family of 1.6 parents. Now we have a 0.6 parent, I don't know how that works. And it is 1.93 kids on average. Families have gotten smaller, houses have gotten huger. Huger, is that really? Things certainly have gotten different, if not better, from the roaring 20s. How many of you have been in summer school in past years, done summer school stuff? Well, we are just working out our summer school schedule, but the theme is the Roaring 20s. We are going to base our course offerings in the 6th annual Eaton Summer School. By the way, for those of you who are new or have never attended, it's a series of classes and concerts and field trip outings centered around a theme, and this year we're centering it on the Roaring 20s. And so we're finalizing dates and the like, but right now we're looking at 2 field trips, one to the Clive Cussler Automobile Museum. He's got one of the largest collections of 20s and 30s cars in the country, including 2 of those Duesenbergs, by the way. We're going to take a field trip and a picnic up to the Betcher Mansion on Lookout Mountain. That was built in the 1920s. It's a classic Denver rich guy escape to the mountains house. Wonderful treat. That's going to be great. So those are our 2 field trips. We're going to have a couple of classes in here that are going to talk about life in the 20s. So that should be a lot of fun. And we will have a concert of classical 1920s music. You may not think those 2 go together, but they do. Classical music was going strong in the 1920s. And then potentially the highlight, Kate's idea, I'm going to blame Kate, actually, I kind of had the same idea. We're going to have a speakeasy 1920s flapper dance party. So that is what we're looking forward to for Summer School 2022, the 6th annual. You will have an insert in the next Life Enrichment newsletter with more details. We sign up month by month, so don't think you can sneak in and get your name in. And the sign-ups for the next month's classes start at Forum. So the May Forum, you'll be able to sign up for the June classes and field trips. So keep that in mind. It's an incentive to come to Forum. Some of the classes, not the classes so much, but the field trips in particular, sometimes there's limited space availability. So you do want to sign up for those quickly. We do our best to keep the cost affordable on those field trip outings as well. So looking forward to that. As we move into the meeting, you'll have questions. Feel free to ask them as we go along, or we'll have a dedicated question and answer time at the end of the meeting as well. The meeting's being video recorded. You know, we have to turn around and wave at the camera. Turn around and wave at the camera. Turn around and wave at the camera. It's behind you there in the center, so all our neighbors who watch us via video know that we're thinking of them. If you don't want to be recorded, walk around like this. Want to introduce, we have one new neighbor to introduce. I'm not sure if Eleanor is here or not. She's not, but if you have a chance to meet Eleanor Girk, a new resident on the 2nd floor of the residence, say hello to her. Allie, you have permission to eat that piece of cheesecake now. Mary Ann.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I just have some quick announcements for the group today. I'd like to remind everyone, if you use durable medical equipment, such as a walker or anything of that nature, they cannot be left behind in common areas. So if you were to come down to be picked up, maybe to go to the grocery store, but you leave your durable medical equipment in the lobby, I am asking and reminding you that that is not allowed. Personal belongings cannot be left in common areas. And next, under that, you'll see considerate behavior. Let me just explain why that's up there. From time to time, we might have a function here where alcohol is served, and it was brought to my attention that, gosh, when would that have been? Maybe St. Patrick's Day? Some people might have gotten a little loud and a little rambunctious, and we're all for having a good time. My last name is Mulligan, for heaven's sakes. But just be mindful that, when you imbibe, that you are living in a community, so you just want to be respectful to everyone living here in the community setting. And next, I just wanted to remind everyone regarding our dress code. It did get changed several months ago. We did talk about it several months ago here at this meeting. I just wanted to remind everyone that dress code now reads, residents are expected to be fully clothed, including footwear, in all areas outside of the unit or your apartment. So please don't come down to the mailbox in just your bathrobe, okay? You just need to be fully clothed. And then, lastly, on the agenda, we have noticed an increase of residents keeping their front doors ajar. And first of all, that's a potential safety risk for you, so please shut your doors. And then also that is a fire code issue too. So don't leave your front doors of your apartments ajar. Make sure that they latch completely when you enter your unit from the hallway. And then lastly, not included here, I just wanted to recognize the Eaton Senior Community staff. Everyone who works here is so dedicated. I have the pleasure and the privilege to work with individuals who come to work every day, giving it their best for our mission. So I just want to remind everyone what our mission is, and that is to provide affordable housing in a service-rich environment so that everyone can live to their fullest potential. So I'm asking you today if you would join me in giving a hand to all the staff here. Thank you so much. That's all I have. We can move to the next slide.
Do you want the arrow first?
Hello, everyone. So if you have noticed, there has been lots of flyers. I have lots of things that are going to be going on coming up in April, even more in May. But one thing I just wanted to address real quick before I get to that, if there is ever anything that you are interested in, you want to learn more about, a place you want to go, an activity you want to start, please let me know. This is your activities. I plan things around resident requests, resident interests. I've done surveys, so please, if you have something you are really interested in and you want to get started, you just need some help going the right way, let me know. Somebody came and asked me about genealogy. We have a 2-hour class from an expert from Jefferson County Libraries that is going to be coming out. We still have plenty of room. I think we have about 10 people signed up right now. And if you would like to sign up, let me know. But if there is anything that sparks your interest, let me know. I love to plan things that you guys want to do. So let me know. Then I think, yes. If you don't have the Touchtown app yet, please stay after forum and let me connect with you. There's been a little bit of misunderstanding what Touchtown. So Touchtown used to be 2 parts. The TV channel 40.1 is no longer. There is no TV channel. That is not Touchtown. I tried to make it work, it did not work. 40.1 is dead. But the app, Touchtown app, so whenever you see Talk to Debbie or go into the Touchtown app, this is a great way for you to be able to look at the menu, to be able to look at activities, be able to sign up for things, looking at the monthly calendar at what I have going on the whole month. I put my newsletter in there. You don't have to have a smartphone. It can go on a tablet. It can also go on your computer. Also, to the side note, soon it is hopefully going to be connecting with your Google devices that you have in your apartment. And currently you can ask if you have an Alexa. You can ask Alexa, what's for lunch Friday? It will tell you. What's the activities on Tuesday? It will tell you. So if that's something that you would like to get set up, let me know, and I can assist you with that. But you have all of the activities, what's going on in your hands. You don't have to worry about getting a hold of Debbie. If you need to cancel, you can do that through the app. So I will be staying after forum and just going over to the fireside room if anyone wants more information about Touchtown and how to get a hold of it on your phone or your computer or your tablet. But it's a really great resource. So Channel 41, no more. That's not Touchtown, just the app. So that's all I had.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Work order.
Let's call maintenance. Put it on maintenance. This is a two-person job.
People of Earth. Greetings. A few things to review with you. As always, want to review our trash and recycling protocols. Trash rooms are available on every floor in the residences. They're available on the 3rd floor in the Summit building. Please make sure any trash is in a bag and recycle is not in a bag. Recycle must be loose in the recycle bin and trash must be bagged in the trash bin. So please continue to be considerate of that. And then any puppy pads or other incontinence products must be taken out to the bins by the dumpsters. Those are not to be left in the trash rooms on each floor. There is a sign posted on the door reminding that, but if you have a caretaker or someone new that might be helping you out, please try to help them out by reminding them of that. Work orders, Monday through Saturday during normal business hours, work orders can be placed with our executive receptionist Debbie at the front desk at extension 3000. If she doesn't answer because she's busy with someone, please just leave her a message. She's great about checking messages and will make sure that we get your request. If it's outside of normal business hours and you have an emergency, please call the on-call maintenance number. Now that is for an emergency. We've been getting a lot of calls on the maintenance phone recently for I have a light bulb out in my kitchen, or I smelled something funny down the hall, or something like that. Is not to be used for that. Only if you have, water gushing out of your sink, or your sink is overflowing, or you've lost power in your apartment. Those are emergencies that would constitute a call to the on-call maintenance phone. Okay. Elevator etiquette, please. Let's Marianne just kind of talk to us about that. We're be mindful that we live in community. Let's be kind of respectful with one another. Let's try to not overcrowd the elevators, and let us be as gentle with the elevator buttons as we would be with our dearest pet or loved one.
Michael, if I got impatient and pounded that elevator button with my cane and broke it, how much does that cost to fix?
Over $800 for a button to replace it if it's broken. So if we're frustrated, I'd rather you take that out on me than opposed to the elevator buttons. It's better for a budget, okay? It's very, very expensive. And everybody's been doing a great job with that. We haven't had to replace an elevator button in several months. So thank you all for your patience and agreeability with that. Also a reminder that we have housekeeping services available. We provide laundry service, we provide apartment cleaning, we provide apartment tidying, we provide trash removal services. If you have a need for any of those, please call the housekeeping office and schedule that service with Mary Ann Mondragon. We're happy to help you with that. I'm gonna switch microphones here and I have a little demonstration for you.
Grab the handle, it needs to be turned on. There you go. Check.
Hello.
I feel like Carol Merrill from The Price is Right.
This is our first showcase! What do you bid for this LG air conditioner? This is a brand new unit. What do you bid? What's your bid?
Mine still works fine.
Your sellers, he's not needing one. I just wanted, it's that time where things are getting warmer, we're getting out of the heating system and into the cooling season, and I just kind of wanted to review use of air conditioner and a common question that we get this time of year. You might see a red light that comes on if your air conditioner here that says clean filter. I get a lot of calls about that. Wondering, does the filter need to be replaced or what's going to happen here? So I just kind of wanted to walk you through a couple of things with this. Be sure if you want to use your air conditioner that you turn your heat off. Just take your thermostat, turn that all the way off because they are separate systems. Obviously you use your power button. Some units have a remote, some do not, but most are kind of like this. Your temperature adjustment is right here. Set it to whatever temperature you'd like. Our recommendation is that you leave it on cool. There is an energy saver mode. There is a fan mode as well. Fan will just bring air in and blow fresh air in for you. An energy saver puts it on a reduced power setting. So some of these air conditioners can be loud. Some vibrate in the window, and that can be annoying for people. So if the noise of the air conditioner is problematic for you, we don't replace air conditioners because they're loud. We'll replace them if they're not putting out cool air anymore. That's the only reason we replace them. So that energy saver function can make this unit go a little bit quieter for you, okay? When you see the clean filter light on, if you want to reset it, all you need to do is push down the temperature up and temperature down buttons for a couple of seconds and that light will go off. But what say you if you want that filter cleaned? The front cover just pops open. These filters are a permanent washable filter. So you just open it up, take this out, rinse this under the sink. You can wash it with a little bleach if you'd like, whatever your pleasure is. And then just shake it, shake the water off, and you can pop that joker back in, and you're back in business. You're back in business. So, encourage you, if you want to clean, I'd recommend you check that and clean it as often as you're thinking about it. The cleaner that filter is, the more air that comes through it to make it cooler for you. Sometimes we'll go in and we'll get a work order that my air conditioner isn't working, and we come in and the filter's really clogged, we clean it, and then it really starts jamming again. So feel free to check that. In times past, ACs used to be pulled out and washed out. That's not really something that we do anymore, just because of the demands on our maintenance staff time and the fact that it really doesn't do a whole lot of benefit. So we do not do that. But if you have a problem with your AC, please just place a work order and our guys will come and check it out and try to get you going. So Another update. Isn't this fun? We are about ready to start our roof replacement project. The main roofs in this building and the Summit building are going to be replaced starting as early as next month. So there'll be information coming out about that. We'll have a crane on site for a lot of this work. This will require some areas of the parking lot to be closed at certain points while we're doing that work. So stay tuned for some information about that. The other big project that's going to be going on later this summer or early this fall is the parking lot is going to be resurfaced. So I know that's something we've all been looking for. So this will be a complete overlay, a whole new 2 inches of asphalt in the whole lot with restriping, which will also require us to have our cars moved at certain times. It looks like we'll be doing this in 3 phases. There'll be that part there, back on the south end, then front of the building, and then the north end of the lot. We'll be doing that in 3 phases. So look for information coming out about that as we move along this summer doing things for you. Are there questions for me? Yes?
Will there be places for us to park our cars when you're closed our part of the park?
We're working on that. Last year, I guess it was 2 years ago now. 2 years ago now, Red Rocks Church made their lot available when we did the restriping of the parking lot. So we're trying to get in touch with them to see if that's something that's feasible. Also, the Advanced Auto Parts across the store is closed. So I'm trying to work with the broker over there to possibly have parking space there available for us while we do these projects, so you won't have to have street parking.
Thank you in advance.
Yeah, we're working hard on that. Yes.
Will the stripes be in the same places? Can you hear me?
Yes. The question was, will the stripes in the parking lot be in the same spaces?
And this, I had to get a closer parking spot because of my body. I thought, why do I have such a big space? Well, it's close to the door, and there was a fire truck here, and then cars parked over here, and I thought, oh, this is the only way I could get out. Because if you make it narrower, I'd still be sitting.
Yeah, the lines are going to be back in the same spot as well as the numbering. There are going to be a couple additional spots that are going to be added, so some of the numbering might change, but all the stalls will be in the same location. Yes, Tom?
I need to scoot back to elevator etiquette. One day, just a couple days ago, both elevators had water, clear water on the floor. Nobody attempted to clean it up. Of course, I did on one, but there was nobody to hold the door, so. And I don't understand why people don't clean up after themselves.
Yeah, we often encounter a lot of spilled.
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear what her problem was.
Yeah, so I was getting ready to reiterate that. So the comment was, there was water found in the elevator the other day. People didn't pick up. We do encourage all of you to clean up after yourself as you spill, or if you're unable to and you see a spill, please report it so that our custodial team can clean it up, because we don't want any slipping hazards for anybody. Yes.
I'm also noticing that this property has gone downhill in terms of trash being thrown around the property.
Yeah, there's a comment about
elevators and-
comments about trash around. Yeah, please, try to pick up trash as you see it. We, our team does a weekly round outside of the building for trash pickup. We get a lot of trash that gets blown into our property from surrounding areas, which does make it a constant labor of picking things up. So if you see any rubbish that you feel is safe to pick up and throw away, it all helps to make our community look better. Other questions for me? Yes, Steve?
Yeah, what about the ones that have the remote air conditioners? Do they have a filter in it?
question is, air conditioners that have a remote, do they have a filter in it? All the air conditioners do have a filter in it. Yeah, like I just, D, your filter is gonna be right in here. You have one of these. Yep, you have a unit identical to this. You just pull this screen out and pull the filter out. Yep, yours is the same as this, yes.
Now what about the AC unit in the Summit building?
Some of the AC units in the Summit building are different than this. Some of them are long and skinny. Most of those do not have a filter light, but on the very front where the grate is, there are usually 2 areas where there's filters that you can pull out and wash as well.
So we're gonna do it ourselves?
Yep, those are also permanent filters. Yes, you do that yourself. We don't provide filter cleaning
Or somebody
services.
got to show us how to do it.
What's that?
Somebody got to show us how to do it.
He just demonstrated.
Because mine, the door doesn't even close tight, so totally jammed. And I had to use tape cover the gap.
Yeah, on the long narrow units, you'll see a screen like this, and right in the top, there are 2 spots where you pull the filter out. That's how you do that on those long narrow ones. Yes?
I have an air conditioner just like that. Works perfect, beautiful, love it. If I raise the wall a little bit, but no big deal. It's been in that window for 6 years. I clean that filter all the time. But the air conditioner on the rest of it is filthy. It keeps blowing all kinds of really knotted things out, and I can't breathe using it. So how do I clean that?
Well, like I said, we don't pull these out to clean it. If you have an issue, please place a work order and we'll take a look at what you have going on. Okay?
Thanks.
But that's not something we do or are going to
I asked
do.
you how I would clean it.
Yeah, the only thing you'd have to do would be pull the unit, which would be very difficult to do. Any other questions for me before I go? Yes?
These roofer people, they're not gonna make too much noise early in the morning.
Question was, when we're replacing the roof, there's not gonna be a loud noise early in the morning, and, I'm gonna say I appreciate that question. I'll be looking at, we'll be having a pre-chat meeting in the next week to talk about hours of operation. But as we all know, roofing work usually starts pretty early in the morning. So those of you on the 6th floor, we appreciate your patience and understanding in advance for some of the noise that we're going to have while we deal with this project. Yes.
Who's the roofing company? I'm just curious because my brother runs one. Who's the roofing company that you're going to have come over?
The vendor that is going to be doing our roof replacement is a company called Western Roofing.
Okay.
Yep, Western Roofing. They've done a lot of repair work for this company over the last 10 years or so.
Okay.
Other questions for me? Yes.
What about when they throw the stuff off the roof? Are they just gonna throw it in the lawn and with the nails and everything?
Yes, everything is going to be thrown everywhere. No. Question is when the roofing material is removed, how does that work? So there will be a crane cordoned off on an area of the parking lot, and all of the rock that is up there and other material that's up there will be disposed on that side. As they work around. There will be a designated side, everything will be tarped, and things will be either through a secured chute or through the crane be loaded into a dump trailer. There will be several dump trailers. The material will be loaded right into those trailers. Yes?
Me?
Yes.
If they need help, tell them to call me.
To call you if they need help. The roofers need help, call you. They might want some cookies.
I can do that.
Yeah, they might want some cookies.
If I'm allowed, I can do that.
Our time is brief. Any other questions for me before I leave all of you, my dear friends? All right.
Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
Take my visual aid with me.
That is high.
I've been one elevator button. I
like that, can I have that one?
It was uploaded right up, want to write a picture?
Just a little button. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Hello.
Oh, yes, would you please? Everyone probably knows that the Atlantic hurricane season is between June and November each year. How many know that the tornado season in Colorado is between May through August? There are an average of 53 tornadoes reaching the ground here in Colorado each year. But 95% of these strike east of I-25. Some terms that you need to be familiar with are tornado watch, which means a tornado is possible in your area, and tornado warning, which means a tornado is actually occurring and you should take shelter immediately. Watches and warnings are broadcast over your local TV or radio stations. If you are in your apartment and there is a tornado warning, take shelter in your bathroom away from any windows. You should sit on the toilet or in the shower and cover up with pillows or covers to protect yourself from broken glass or flying debris. Take your pet in there with you and shut the door. If you are outside of your apartment and there is a tornado warning, take shelter immediately in an interior hallway away from all the windows. Some signs of a tornado are dark, often yellowish sky, a wall cloud, large hail, a large roar similar to a freight train, and or a funnel cloud. Most importantly, don't try to locate the tornado when there is a warning so that you can experience it or take a picture of it. Take shelter immediately. And on an added note, the Emergency Preparedness Committee is looking for a few new motivated members. Join us on April 21st at 1 p.m. in the fireside room to see if this is for you. Do we have any questions? Yes.
What time is your meeting?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, sorry.
In the fireside.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Who was calling?
Holly? I don't know. I have to check.
Given all that we are seeing happen in the world right now, we're hearing a lot about the concepts of equity, inclusion, and diversity, including me receiving a lot of questions about what are the differences between these three concepts. So today, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. Let's start, first of all, by talking about the concept of diversity, since I would say it's language that we most often hear used when we're talking about bringing people together across cultural communities. So diversity is essentially about the quantitative representation of differences. It's about measuring how many women do we have within the workplace, how many people of color do we have on this board, how many people from the LGBTQ communities make up part of this society, and so much more. Essentially what we're doing when we're taking a look at diversity is measuring the representation of cultural communities in our society, in our organization, in our mix. Inclusion is about not only the quantitative representation of difference, but more importantly, it's about the qualitative experience around differences. That is to say, when we're talking about inclusion, what we're really focusing on is the extent to which people can bring their whole, true, authentic cultural selves into their interactions. whether that be at school, at work, in their personal interactions and relationships, and more. Inclusion is extremely important because when we're focusing on the qualitative experience of differences, what we're really trying to push is both authenticity, you're able to be who you are at your core, and still attract, opportunities, which means that you can be flourishing, thriving, having opportunities and more come your way on the basis of your differences. So that's diversity and that's inclusion. But the final concept, equity, is the one that is the most important of the three. Equity is defined essentially as our process of recognizing the historical legacies and the current realities of discrimination and prejudice that people from marginalized communities experience. It's essentially recognizing that not everyone starts from the same place, given the historical legacies of discrimination, which then also impact their current realities. When we dig deep into equity, what we also come to see and learn about are systems of supremacy, power, and privilege. So when I'm asked by people, which of these three concepts are the most important, or which should I focus on the most, I always say diversity and inclusion are extremely important. But really where you need to focus on the most is the concept of equity, because without equity, diversity and inclusion are not possible. If you want to learn more about these three concepts, I have a lot more to say. Check out my website, rithlybasine.com, and sign up for my mailing list while you're there. Thanks, as always, for watching.
Good afternoon. So I'm giving you homework.
Given all the fear space happening in the world
she's
right
starting
now,
over again.
we're hearing a lot of
There we go. I'm giving you homework based on this video. So I would like you all to go away from this meeting and for this next month, really focus on how can you further equity within our community so that we're really bringing about the sense of community and belonging. So take that with you, and then I'm going to ask for volunteers at next month's meeting to come up and share how you have furthered equity within our community. Any questions about that? And I'm happy to have any conversations outside of this meeting around this topic as well, if you have any questions. So just get in touch with me. I have an open door, and we can sit down and talk. So, yes, Linda?
I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I don't understand.
You don't understand of how to further equity in our community?
Isn't everybody here welcome to every opportunity?
That is what, so everyone here is welcome to every opportunity we have here. Exactly.
So how can you make that better?
So let me give you an example. Let's say you have an exclusive group of people who meet for cards every week. And you know that your neighbor down the hall likes the same card game. Invite them. You know, how are we going to further create a community of belonging? And that starts with equity.
There are exclusive groups here?
I think sometimes we bring our biases in and we may not mean to be exclusive. So just take that question in and just ask yourself over this next month, is there something I'm doing that might be exclusive that I can then be more inclusive about? And we'll ask you, if you've done something purposely over the next month, please share your story with us at the next forum. Okay? All right. I don't know that I'm the rest of the agenda. Am I? Hope, are you supposed to be coming up here?
Hope is next.
Is Hope here?
Okay, Hope is here. So I'm gonna let Hope talk, and then if we have any time left for questions, I can answer questions.
Hi everybody, good to see you. My name is Hope Baker. Some of you may have met me. I've seen some of you from time to time, so it's good to see everybody today. I am from Jefferson Center for Mental Health. I'm with Senior Reach, which is a program that offers counseling, which is funded by Dr. Cog, which is the Denver Regional Council of Governments. And so if you're interested in hearing more about those services, please feel free to come drop by. I'm also now here at Eaton on Tuesdays from 12 to 4 p.m. and I'm up on the 5th floor. Would love to see you. You can either just drop by to say hello, or you can give me a call to schedule a 30-minute meeting. And basically what that is it's just for if you need to talk through something or you need a little bit of extra support around a certain matter. Whatever it is, you can feel free to give me a call. We'll schedule that session and have a chat. And then additionally, on Mondays, on the 3rd and 4th Monday of each month, except for May. So next week and then not May, and then in June we'll start again. But on the 3rd and 4th Mondays, I'm doing some wellness workshops here in the Centrum. And they're on a variety of topics, but this coming Monday will be on self-care. So just exploring what even does that term mean and what might you want to do for yourself in that topic. So yeah, that's about it. My number is posted around the building. You can feel free to call me. It's my direct line for work. It's on from 8 to 5 p.m. and if I don't get you, I will call you back as soon as I'm able. And I can share more about any of that if you need more information. So, like I said, good to see you. Enjoy the sun.
Okay, we have a few minutes for questions if anyone has questions.
I was looking. This goes dead silence.
We'll give it just a minute.
We ought to offer prizes for the first question.
There are parting gifts today, but we
We're
will
going to talk about that.
I'll announce that in a minute.
Linda.
I want a prize.
I want a prize. How does one earn a prize around here? That's a good question.
I do have a question now. Since we are independent living conditions, if we notice that someone else in the building is struggling with something, can we connect with you about helping them or about contacting their family to spread the news that there's an issue going on that somebody needs to know about?
So the question was, this is independent living. If we see a neighbor struggling, who should we talk to about it? Prithika is your service coordinator in this building. Rian is your service coordinator in the Summit. You want to wave your hands there in the back. So if you are seeing a neighbor struggling and you have concerns, you can talk to Prithika or Rian, depending on which building it is, and they can take it from there. Because we may not have permission to contact somebody's family. So yeah, and we would know that behind the scenes, so we can take it from there. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have another question? If
Yes.
not, sorry.
We do.
I've been smelling cigarette smoke in my bathroom. And it was really, really bad the other day.
Are you smoking in your bathroom?
I will address the smoking. So the question is or comment is that you're smelling smoke in your bathroom. So that means somebody's probably smoking in their apartment. We don't have staff here 24/7. So what I would suggest to you is that when you're smelling it in the moment, you call the front desk. If we have staff here during business hours, which would be about what? Debbie, what time does Debbie get here? 7. So 7:30 to 4. And then the building monitors come on at 8 p.m. and they're here till 6 a.m. So if you're smelling it during those times, call the front desk. If somebody doesn't answer, leave a message. And even if it's while somebody's not here, let's say it's at 6 p.m., still call the front desk and leave a message, because the night monitors can at least investigate it when they get here. And then that way we have leasing follow up on those concerns after. So just tell us in the moment, no matter if we have somebody here or not, leave a message at the desk. Okay, Kari?
I have the same problem as her, and I was told, call staff.
And I would give you the same answer, yes.
She share the same vent, and they didn't tell me I had to leave a message or anything.
Yeah, absolutely, leave a message, because we can follow up on it.
Because they don't
It's
know
next
the
day.
staff isn't here.
And that's usually how the bad behavior happens, is people do it when we're not here. When the teachers and the principal are gone for the day, we know things happen, so.
The bad behavior will not go unchecked. Your bad behaviors note. We have ways.
And means.
You ready?
We ready?
I think there's one more question.
Lynn.
Quick question. Is smoking allowed in the dog run? Because I've been
No.
finding cigarette butts.
Smoking is not allowed in the dog run. Smoking is only allowed in the designated smoking area on our campus.
Glad you mentioned that.
Well, I know one thing that wasn't around in the 1920s. Girl Scout cookies.
Drivers, they're better drivers than I am.
Alrighty, hello everybody. We have a lovely surprise for you. This is Diana and this is Avery. Avery is my niece, and they're here to tell you a little bit about their surprise. Who would like the microphone first? There you go.
So today we brought Girl Scout cookies. Our troop was looking for a hometown hero, and when we do hometown heroes for cookies, all the leftover cookies or donated money will go to game boxes and go to that organization. And the organization we go gets all the cookies for free. We do have a gluten-free flavor if you cannot have gluten, just in case.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
Gluten-free flavor is new. We have a bunch of varieties of flavors. We don't really have any Thin Mints because this is just what is left over.
We have Samoa.
We have 2 boxes of Thin Mints.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we have lots of Samoas.
Samoas, we're great to go.
And the Lemon Ups. We have Roasty Doughs, Lemon Ups, treat foils.
There you go, guys. There you go.
Also, we have the Girl Scout s'mores, which are going away next year.
Get them while you can. So we'll be up here. If you guys want to come up and grab a box from Diana and Avery, we'll be just stationed up here.
And before you...
These have been paid for already, so there.
Yes, and thank you very much. That was very, very generous. Thank you. Yay. And in addition to your cookies, take your free COVID home tests, please. We have such an abundance of them. Take them and keep them in your apartment if you need them. All right, they do expire at the end of, almost the end of December. So just keep that in mind, but please take them.
And there's regular cookies outside too, but they're not Girl Scout cookies. But grab your single serve cookie on the way out as well.